I'm here because I am a roaring lion crying out righteousness. Well, I guess you've heard the news. It broke yesterday, late yesterday, that Elon Musk, allegedly the world's richest man, has purchased Twitter for $44 billion with a B dollars. That is a large chunk of money. And he was able to raise the actual hard cash to be able to make the sale. And there was a lot of debate going back and forward about Musk not being able to raise that kind of cash, even though he's the world's richest man. And that the board of directors of Twitter would not sell. But money talks and everybody else walks. He's now, from what I understand, the deal has been inked. And he's now the owner of Twitter. I don't know if Twitter is not the world's largest social platform. I think Facebook holds that status, but Twitter is way up there. And the thing about Twitter is Elon Musk, which he didn't need to buy it, but said he wanted to buy it because he wanted to change the standards of the way these social media platforms are running their show. And, so he also stated that if he buys Twitter, though Donald John Tribulation Trump has been banned for Twitter for 6 years, he's going to put Trump back on immediately. And Trump had tens of millions of followers on Twitter, so I guess he'll be coming back. But that probably means as well that Trump will not be actually going with his trust going forward with it, because he's had a lot of problems getting his social media platform launched. Trump has. But I understand the deal has been inked. It's official now that we're going to be beholden to Elon Musk. One of the things about Musk says he's going to change immediately is that he's going to allow you to edit. I'm the world's worst at making, misstatements but my computer, I don't know about yours, if I want to say a word such as pandemic, I get the P-A-D or P-A-N, and it might call it ponderosa. Just put something up right there, and I don't notice it right away, and I'll send out the wrong tweet, and you can't edit it like you can on Facebook. So you're going to get an edit button. I think that'll be a good thing. But here's the big deal. Here's the thing that I'm most curious, and I will follow more closely, is what is Elon Musk's position regarding the LGBTQ community? That's number one. I'll get to the so-called Hamite, Black or African-American community next. But priority, if the LGBTQ community have been greatly protected and have been given the power to use social media platforms to stunt the First Amendment of freedom of speech, the Constitution, and to censor all speech that they don't like. So the social media platforms, Facebook in particular and Twitter, have had in their so-called community, and YouTube rather, in their community standards, there's certain things you can't say, even though you should have freedom of speech. But if the LGBTQ community don't like it, then they're going to not let you speak on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube, or Instagram, or wherever. So is Elon Musk going to eliminate that community standard and censorship of free speech? Because that's what's going on social media platforms. You can't say, you have to be very careful. And I understand the freedom of speech. You can't yell fire in a crowded theater. Nobody's going to yell fire in a crowded theater. But there's some things you ought to be able to say. So will he maintain the status quo, or will he loosen the community standard so you can be a little bit more definitive in your description? And if he does that, and I know that he will, but if Elon Musk allows true freedom of speech on Twitter, that's going to cause Facebook to have to rethink its processes. Because, and if he upgrades his, if you speak more freely on Twitter than you can on Facebook, then people are going to start doing most of their speaking on Twitter rather than Facebook. The other thing, part two of number one, part A of number one, is that the algorithms that the that these social media platforms use. They know what they want to promote and they know what they want to demote. Now you can say this is, how do I know this? Because everybody's going to be complaining about it, even complaining about it in Congress. That Facebook, not only does it censor speech, but it censors your opportunity at exposure. If Facebook, you can put what you want on Facebook. If they don't want anybody to see it, they're going to hide it. But if you put something on Facebook that they want the world to see, you're going to get millions of views right away. In a little bit of, you can say crying and spilled milk and, but they've been doing that to me for years. I put up videos, I slam them up there every day, and they make sure that they don't go anywhere. And it isn't because what I have to say is not appealing or interesting or authentic. They just don't want me to go out. They don't want me getting the millions of views that I should be getting every day. People think, well, nobody's interested in what you're saying. It's not true. There's nobody out there saying like I'm saying. It isn't true. And anybody who says, well, the reason why you're not getting views is because you're not interesting, there's something wrong with you. Either you got a spirit of hate or the devil. Because what I used to get millions of views. What happened? I'm still James David Manning. I still call him the long-legged Mac Daddy. I call him the long-legged. I'm still James David Manning. I've got 63 million views on YouTube. How come I can only get 63 now? Because YouTube is in control. No. You need to change your heart, brother. That's your problem. But the other thing is this. If Twitter says, all right, we're going to stop the algorithm. We're just let things fall in a chronological order. Let the videos fall where they may. We're not going to control them. We're not going to censor. We're not going to control. If he does that, then I'm going to take my hat off to Elon Musk because then I'm going on Twitter full time. But I don't know. And if he does that, he has the power to disrupt the whole social media platform. By the way, the world has gone in the wrong direction as a result of all these social media platforms. Over the last decade, the world has greatly changed. I'm old enough to know a different world than what young people are looking at. They think they know the world now through social media platforms or through the introduction. I'm old enough to have lived in a much more different time, when the world was closely aligned to the way universal principles and norms work. There's been an explosion. And the other thing on these social media platforms is that a lot of vulgar things happen on these platforms as well. And they are destroying the youth of unstable people because you can go on. A lot of people don't even know how to interact anymore. They were saying during the pandemic that 54 million school children weren't able to, do classroom interaction. They were online. And as a result of that, they would lose their interpersonal skills of how to deal with bullies or girlfriends or lunch or other students or other people, large crowds and teachers, because they were doing remote learning. If that went on too long, children would be stunted in their ability to interpersonally relate. And it's true. It's true. But what they fail to say is that even though children are now able to go back to school and have interpersonal relationship inside of school, they still stay on their social media, on their iPads or their iPhones or their computers, even while in class. And when they go home, it's all computer, it's all social media all the time, and very little interaction. I mean, they bring their iPads and phones to the dinner table. Children now, and I'm looking at this, live in an isolation world where they really don't know anything about interpersonal relationship. They don't know how to cope. Their iPhone is their parent. They're learning from deviants. It's an awful thing that's happening to our society. I am so glad, and that. I would say to everybody to bring your children to ATLAH, you're doing a good thing, because here you're going to get at least a journey back to the old landmark. Most, anywhere from, I suppose, 12 to 30 years of age, people now don't know how to interact. They don't understand. And one of the reasons why there's been such killings in Chicago school shootings across America and crime among young people, young boys in particular, is because they don't have interpersonal skills. They don't know how to settle their arguments, either with a fist fight or with a chess game or with a pickup game of basketball. They just take out a damn gun and start shooting because they have, that's how we used to do it. All right, come on, let's cut the back. Come on out here with your bad self. We're gonna duke this out. Not now. They just pull out a gun and shoot the hell out you. And they think, well, what am I supposed to do? I see it on YouTube all the time. I see it on, El Chapa. I'm not going to let you hit me in the face. I'm going to shoot you. And that's where it's all coming from. And it's only going to get worse. So my concern is this, is that, well, I don't know very much about Elon Musk, his position regarding, homosexuality, the queers, the bis, the trannies, the gays, the lesbians. I don't, but this could be a game changer. This very well could be a game changer in a social media platform. I would like to be able to, use the N-word. I'd like to be able to use the F, not the F4-letter word. I don't want to use that ugly word. I don't use that. That's a despicable. But there's this double standard. Dave Chappelle can get up and use the N-word, the C-word, the A-word, and everybody laugh. Then they go back to their computers and they look on YouTube, and if I use it, he is against community standards, and he is calling our LGBT out of character. Let's ban him. But then they go see Dave Chappelle or Chris Rock, and they laugh their you-know-what's off when he uses it. This is wrong. So, perhaps Elon Musk is going to change the tempo of things. I don't know.